for some peace of mind. But TikTok said a gator drove a Jeep through the blinds. Florida man's at it again with fireworks and a goat. And someone married a ghost in a Dollar Tree coat. Hey, what in the Walmart rapture is going on? Aliens dancing in a Waffle House song. Karen's got a taser in the checkout line. And Dr. Oz just adopted birds to fight off crime. Oh, I'm just sitting here scrolling, my jaw on the floor. The internet's a circus and I can't take no more. Yeah, when it's wildin', there's a raccoon in the sink. Someone robbed a Wendy's just to steal a frosty drink. A pastor's gone viral yelling about the end is near, while folks ride hoverboards in wedding gear. Hey, what in the Walmart rapture is this mess? Florida's a movie, but it's filmed in VHS. Someone fed meth to a squirrel named Dave, and now he's in a cage just throwing rave. I'm just...
Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, January the 20th. I was going to say June, but that would mean that hell has completely frozen over because it is like 9 degrees outside. Good morning, Audio Coffee and Christine and Bob King. Good morning. What in the world? Y'all, I have no idea what's going on with the YouTubes. I don't know why things aren't working. I'm blaming the cold, but who knows? In news, it's Dolly Parton's birthday. In other news, doesn't really matter. No, I'm just kidding. Now, I don't know who specifically we need to talk to, but we must protect this woman at all cost. Look, we've already lost Betty White. I refuse to lose Dolly Parton. So I don't know how we make her bionic, or if she'd agree, but we just need to protect Dolly at all costs. Dolly Parton is 80, from country star to a global icon. 8-time Grammy-winning singer, songwriter, and multi-instrumentalist. That's a word I can say. Actress, author, and philanthropist Dolly Parton, best known for her hit songs Jolene and 9 to 5 and Islands in the Stream, plus many, many more, has turned 80 on Monday. So I did miss this. It was yesterday. But I mean, it takes a lot of money to learn, stuff. I really, really do hope, that she's doing okay. I know she lost her husband, and I can't imagine that. And having to be without someone you've lived almost your entire life with. But she is fabulous, and she loves wigs, and she's always been my hero. Because, I mean, who looks directly into Barbara Walters' face and says, it takes a lot of money to look this trashy? Again, no one other than our queen, Dolly Parton. So we're keeping her safe. Again, I don't know the magic involved in making her bionic, but I do feel like, it will be science. That is, oh, and happy birthday to your dad, Bob King. So there you go. That is one of our happy news stories. In a news stories that is breaking in my home state. So I will be covering this. This is one that is kind of a bit odd. A judge and his wife were shot inside their suburban Indiana home. Now, this isn't extremely close to me. This is much more north to me, so almost 2 hours away from where I live. Now, both the judge and his wife are in the hospital but expected to be okay. A judge and his wife were shot and wounded at their suburban Indiana home on Sunday, sparking a massive multi-agency investigation as the suspect continues to remain at large, according to authorities. Tippecanoe Superior Court 2 Judge Stephen Meyer and his wife Kimberly were shot just before 2:30 p.m. in their home on Mill Pond Lane in Lafayette on Sunday. Now that's according to the Lafayette Police Department. Now again, I have ChatGPT kind of monitoring things. As of right now, this is the latest news. I will be keeping an eye on this because this does raise questions about judicial safety, whether this was retaliatory, whether this was targeted or random. I don't know why you would randomly go up to someone's house at 2:30 p.m. on a Sunday and shoot them. Maybe or maybe not. The fact that we don't really have any information on who we should be looking out for is also interesting. However, it is very early. I mean, and I'm guessing they're still going to be investigating. Now, because this was an attack on a judge, the FBI has been brought in. Now, Judge Meyer, 66, sustained an injury to his arm, and Kimberly Meyer sustained an injury to her hip during the shooting. A 911 caller reported that someone knocked on the door and said they had the couple's dogs before a shot blasted through the door, according to the emergency dispatch audio. Now, the judge and his wife were both taken to a local hospital and are in stable condition. Judge Meyer remained in the hospital on Monday. Indiana Supreme Court Chief Justice Loretta Rush said in a statement. Now, shell casings have been recovered at the scene, according to authorities. As of Sunday evening, the alleged gun-wielding suspect has not been caught. Now, authorities have been tight-lipped about a possible motive or a description of the shooter. Quote, Tippecanoe Superior Court Court 2 Judge Stephen Meyer is a fellow judge and a longtime friend. I'm deeply grateful he and his wife Kim are alive after having been shot in their home. Their health and well-being are of utmost concern to me, Loretta Rush, the Supreme Court Justice said. I worry about the safety of all of our judges as you work peacefully to resolve more than 1 million cases a year. You must not only feel safe, but you must be safe. Any violence against a judge or a judge's family is completely unacceptable. As public servants, you are dedicated to the rule of law. Now, Kimberly Meyer said in a statement that she has great confidence in the police department's investigation. We're incredibly grateful for the outpouring of support from the community. Everyone's been so kind and compassionate, Meyer wrote. We would especially like to thank the medical personnel who provided care and assistance to us following the incident. Now, a joint investigation between the Lafayette Police Department, Indiana State Police, Tippecanoe County Sheriff's Office, West Lafayette Police Department, Tippecanoe County Prosecutor's Office, and the FBI is remaining ongoing. Now, Rush encouraged residents to remain extremely vigilant and contact their local sheriff if they have any information about the shooting or a possible suspect. Now, Judge Meyer had recently announced his plans to retire at the end of 2026 after serving as a Tippecanoe Superior Court 2 judge for 12 years. Before he was elected to the bench, the Indiana University School of Law grad served on the Lafayette City Council for 23 years. So this does look like it was targeted. It does look like this was related in some way to his judgeship, but this is only the initial sort of investigation. So it will be interesting to see what else comes out. I am not aware of typical Tippecanoe cases since it's not my locality. I will say that Indiana has had a large opioid problem. It's very, very prevalent in more rural areas. So a lot of rural areas are dealing with increased crime, increased problems that come with the manufacturing of the Breaking Bad chemical. And, you know, you mess with the Breaking Bad chemical, you can get some pretty bad stuff. So I will try to look into what sort of cases he was looking into, but as of right now, there really isn't a suspect. There isn't a motive. So, you know, let's wait and see what actually happens. Well, the FBI is, well, it's cooking with fire. It seems like the FBI has captured Alejandro Rosales Castillo, one of its 11 or 10 most wanted fugitives, a decade after his crimes. Is that his current picture? Because he looks 12. Was he 2 when he did this? One of the FBI's top 10 most wanted criminals has been captured after a decade on the run. Alejandro Rosales Castillo, wanted for the 2016 murder of his 23-year-old co-worker, was caught in Mexico on January 16th, according to a release from the FBI. Now, he was captured nearly 10 years later he crossed the border from Nogales, Arizona into Mexico on August 16, 2016. Now, he was captured 10 years later in Hidalgo, Mexico, with the help of FBI's Enforcement Attaché Office in Mexico City and the Agencia de Investigación Criminal Interpol vetted team, along with the Secretary of Security and Protection from Mexico. Now, Castillo was added to the wanted list on October 24, 2017, per the FBI. He was charged with the murder of Truck Kwan Sandy Lee Lay of Charlotte, North Carolina, after her body was found on August 17, 2016. A state arrest warrant was issued on November 2, 2016, charging Castillo with first-degree murder, and followed by a federal arrest warrant on February the 10th, 2017, charging him with unlawful flight to avoid prosecution. Now, he is being detained in Mexico City pending extradition proceedings to North Carolina. FBI Director Kash Patel said in a statement that Castillo's arrest is the 5th top 10 most wanted fugitive that has been captured since last year. This was outstanding work by our Charlotte team, FBI Legat Mexico, local and federal partners, along with partners in Mexico, and now we can begin the process of delivering long-awaited justice for Sandy Lee's family, Patel said. Now, FBI agent in charge, James C. Barnacle Jr. James C. Barnacle Jr. sounds like you should be working at the Krusty Krab. I watch way too much SpongeBob for an adult, but my children love it. I suddenly realized why my mom didn't like Ren and Stimpy. I loved him, but my mom was like, this is dumb. And now I know how my mom felt. So it does look like they've captured him and everything, but it will be a matter of getting him back. A lot of countries, I don't know if North Carolina has the death penalty, but a lot of countries will not send their citizens back to a country or back to a state where they could potentially face the death penalty. So it will be interesting to see how that goes, and what things are going to do to get him back. So it will be interesting. I will keep an eye on this, and for the family of the victim's sake, I hope that justice and the extradition is swift, and he can definitely face justice and due process. Well, I am not currently covering this case, but I have heard that it is a crazy, wild ride. So I'm not covering it, but apparently the jury has now seen a Brazilian au pair's lusty selfies with a married IRS agent just weeks before they planned to unalive his wife in a gross fetish fantasy. Did these two watch 9.5 weeks and think, okay, I'll do it? The Brazilian au pair who helped her lover murder his wife, and a would-be patsy in Virginia, posted cringy selfies gushing over her much older beau killer just months before the slaying. Juliana Perez Magdalez, look, I'm butchering this, 25, shared selfies of herself and married IRS agent Brennan Banfield, 40, as they shamelessly cavorted in the winter of 2022, with posts showing them canoodling in a bubble bath. Ugh. Like, Again, if you're going to be cute and lovey-dovey, I don't see why you need to take photographic evidence. I really don't. Again, I understand that I was raised in a generation where we didn't have cameras on our cell phones. We would have had to take like a Polaroid, and you get your nice camera near the bathtub. Yeah, and even so, bubble bath, groping each other under the table, and even pictures of them at the firing range. Oh my God, I'm so incredibly in love. I've been smitten since July of last year. Read one of her selfies. He's married. Now, Banfield's face was covered with a sticker, sort of. She has the technical skills of me. She couldn't even get the full face because she wanted to make sure her face was fully shown. Again, don't be an egomaniac, self-absorbed narcissist if you're going to do crime. Now, the photo was taken in 2022, just 2 months before Banfield's 37-year-old wife, Christine, would lose her life in what his au pair testified was a sick scheme to fake a break-in and an assault, an SA, on the wife, and basically killed the wife and the patsy. So what these two did, if I understand this case, is IRS agent and girlfriend decided to come up with a scheme, so put his wife on a fetish website where her greatest fantasy was have someone break in and SA her. Which, okay. Apparently there are sites for these things, and as long as it's consensual and everyone is okay, I'm not judging, but there you go. So, guy who thinks he's talking to the wife came over to the house thinking wife was A-okay with this. Wife is in the house, has no idea what the hell is going on, thinks she's getting attacked. Husband went in and shot the guy who thought he was there under consensual means and unalived the wife to make it look like it's just a cluster F. I don't know how either of these two thought they were going to get away with this, but the defense attorney who was trying to make Paul Caniero's opening statement, who believes evidence all over the scene conveniently? My client isn't a moron. No, criminals are generally stupid. They're generally not the Hannibal Lecter or the Megamind who's back here controlling things in the background like Emperor Palpatine. No, they're generally the morons who leave all the evidence and text messages and all of their Google searches on their phones. So this case is going insanely from what I've heard. Now, I do know Potentially Criminal is covering this. He would be a really, really good source for more in-depth coverage because he knows all the things. I have not been able to cover this one, and it is apparently going crazy. And all the cringe-hilariousness, all the I'm cheating. So it does seem to be an interesting case. I don't think he's going to get out of this one. And at some point, just go with the fact that you're bald, sir. Just go with it. So there you go. I may cover this later, but as of right now, this is kind of what the jury is seeing. Now, it looks like she did admit to helping, the husband. It's all crazy. It's all crazy. I can barely keep up with Uvalde and now Paul Caniero, so I will have to wait for the au pair case later. Much later. Well, did you have Finding Nefertiti's Tomb on your bingo list? 2026. This might be the first thing in January you've done that, isn't insane. But like insane in a good way. A famed archaeologist, Zaha Hawass, has claimed that he is very close to discovering Queen Nefertiti's tomb. Interesting. Famed archaeologist Dr. Zahai Hawass, I am probably mispronouncing that utterly, and absolutely no disrespect meant. Sometimes disrespect is meant, this time it's unintentional. Believes he is close to discovering the long lost tomb of Egyptian Queen Nefertiti. Now, he is an Egyptologist and former Minister of Tourism and Antiquities, and he boldly predicted that he would make the landmark discovery of Nefertiti's tomb before his retirement in the documentary The Man with the Hat that's set to premiere on Tuesday. If I made this discovery, I think it would be a happy end to my career with the most important discovery of the most important queen of Egypt, Queen Nefertiti, he said in a new documentary that covers his expansive career. Now, the discovery of Queen Nefertiti's tomb could determine whether Hawass, 78, is correct in predicting that she took over the position of her husband, Pharaoh Akhenaten, after his death in 1336 BC. Now, she has been historically portrayed in ways that only a pharaoh would be, such as smiting an enemy, yet no one has been able to credibly find her tomb, leaving her exact role in that period of intense religious turmoil among one of the greatest mysteries of ancient Egyptian history. Now, Hawass has been recently excavating with his team in the Eastern Valley of Kings, near to where Heptaset. Oh, look, there, an old female ruler, a powerful female pharaoh who ruled between 1479 and 1458 BC, was buried. Despite lacking concrete proof, the Chasing Mummies star has a strong feeling that the queen could be buried near there. There is one area that we're working in the East Valley near the tomb of that other queen. I'm hoping that this could be the tomb of Queen Nefertiti. This discovery could happen soon. Now, he has been excavating that particular region for years, notably discovering two tombs, KV65 and KV66. Now, the work would help create a critical map of the region and determine the likely location of Nefertiti's tomb. Now, the famed archaeologist has made two near-miss discoveries of Nefertiti in the past, including a 2022 when he possibly said that one of the two mummies he had unearthed in the Valley of Kings was likely Nefertiti, although this claim hasn't been substantiated. So, he does seem to think that he is really close to it, but this more seems like a fluff piece to promote his documentary, which I will be watching because I am a giant nerd and I like to learn about ancient Egypt, even though they didn't have deodorant. I'm so glad I was born when we have deodorant. Now, as it seems, I've kind of gotten away from Lord Chippy because I realized I was getting in a really negative attitude. But when I come across dumpster trash human behavior, we call it out. So another two for Snake Island, and thank goodness this child is no longer in their custody.
It's a curse, we've got a room for the wicked, the cruel, and the worst. If you lie, if you cheat, if your soul's made of bile, you're bound for the fangs and the venom in style. Oh, one-way ticket to Snake Island. Oh, let the conscience, less cowards and gaslighters. Go, no anchor, no lifeboat, no tearful goodbyes. Trust isn't caught beneath cold-blooded skies. Backstab your friend.
Florida. Why am I not shocked? Florida parents have been arrested after an incredibly filthy home was discovered where a baby was basically just covered in filth. Now, I know this isn't, any news story, and this does happen to many localities, but let's name and shame when we've got it. If you have mugshot can confirm, we can go ahead and mark that one down. A couple has been arrested and charged after authorities found a 1-year-old baby and elderly man living in deplorable conditions inside a roach and mold infested home in Florida. Now, authorities first became aware of the situation when a welfare check was called on the 81-year-old living on the property of Nicholas Anthony Cummings and Tashay Durana Brown on Tuesday, January 13th. Now, when the Flagler County Fire and Rescue Unit arrived on the scene, they found the house with a horrible smell filled with piles of garbage and cockroaches. Now, as the rescue unit attempted to assist the elderly man out, roaches reportedly emerged from the mattress and clothing worn by the male, according to a police report. Now, they also noted that the mattress appeared to have been soiled repeatedly. Now, while searching the rest of the home, that was reportedly, again, just strewn with trash and grossness, they found a 1-year-old baby sleeping in a playpen in the living room. They were crawling all over this baby. Now, when Brown 31 was asked to show officers where, any food for these people would be in the home, he opened the refrigerator and there was mold everywhere with clearly expired food. Now, I have never been one that says you need a license to have a child, but at this point, maybe we need a test, because I will give you guys the honest to goodness truth. Was I fully prepared and ready when I had my first child? No. Did I grow up real quick and tried to do the very best for my child? Hell yes. Have I ever been the best housekeeper? No. Do I have roaches and mold? Hell no, because I was the mom. I was in charge. Some people don't ever have that switch moment, and I don't get it. I don't get it, because as soon as they laid my little, baby on me for the first time, I went from, we should have started with a goldfish, to I will do everything to make, this child okay. Dragon, I think we did. Yeah, always check your boobs for roaches. Either kind, I guess. Now, detectives did basically take these children, or this child and the elderly man, out of this area, which is good. Now, they have basically both been charged with 1 count of neglect of an elderly or disabled adult without great bodily harm, and 1 count of cruelty toward a child without great bodily harm. Now, both of those are felony charges. Now, they were both initially held, the mother and father, for $15,000 bond at the Sheriff Perry Inmate Hall. Now, according to court records, Cummins was released on Thursday, January 15th, and Brown posted bond the following day on Friday, January 16th. Now, they are scheduled to return to court on February the 4th. So, yeah, lock them away, throw away the key. These people should not be in charge of anyone's elderly loved one or a child. No. Now, the rest of these are pretty much what in the Walmart rapture, the stories that will have you wondering if we truly are in the book of Revelations. And boy, are there some doozies this week. Well, look, like I said, 2026 is starting off at a sprinting pace. We do need to pace yourself, 2026.
The key scrolls, thou glowing shrine of thirst traps, scams, and dollar signs. We chant in tones both grim and low, for virtue fled a long time ago. Kyrie eleison, Christe descendat, final form Jesus return in wrath. With 6-pack glistening sword in hand, he cometh swift to cleanse the land.
Well, I mean, this would actually be hilarious until they started rotting. Hundreds of thousands of French fries have washed up on a UK beach as cleaners are struggling to pay, catch up. What the hell happened here? I mean, I know you guys called them chips over here or over there, but what in the world? This is like seagulls must have been praying for years. A beach in Sussex, England, is awash with French fries after several shipping containers containing food and packaging fell off their transport ship earlier this week, dumping thousands of bags of the salty snacks along the shore. Now, the unusual sight shocked locals who said that the fries were 2.5 feet deep in some spots. It's like we are trapped in cloudy with a chance of meatballs. My boys would be just in love with this. Now, local Joe Bonneke told the BBC he had to look twice during his Saturday morning walk in Falling Sands, where the Spud tsunami made landfall. Oh my God, that's gonna rot so bad. The beach looked like Caribbean golden sands, he told the outlet. The HM Coast Guard said 16 containers fell from a cargo vessel last month, which resulted in the food items like onions and bananas washing up on beach, but nothing compares to a bunch of French fries. Now, it's feared that the plastic bags were left behind once the fries made landfalls and broke free of their packaging, and it could present a hazard for aquatic wildlife and birds. I scuba dive quite regularly, and I know what seals are like. They'll see these bags and play with them or try to eat them. Now, a call has been made on local Facebook groups seeking volunteers to help clear the beach of all the debris. East Sussex County Council has put a warning to local to take precautions if they're visiting the beach anytime soon. Please keep dogs on lead as some food items washing up on the shore may be harmful to them. Now, the Coast Guard has deployed an aircraft to look for additional spilled cargo containers, but say none other have been spotted off the shore. I mean, that's pretty French fry-licious. Now, this one made me giggle because I almost bought this t-shirt. Y'all, I seriously almost bought this t-shirt. Now, maybe don't wear this t-shirt if you look suspicious, but the t-shirt or the hoodie basically says, I will put you in a trunk and help people look for you. Stop playing with me, which is a shirt I was going to buy. But apparently a man wearing I will put you in a trunk hoodie has been arrested after a 37-year-old woman's suspicious death in Texas. So I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you're gonna crime, maybe don't wear a hilariously ironic t-shirt during it. I mean, a man has been arrested in connection with the death of a 37-year-old woman and was taken into custody while wearing a hoodie with a chilling message written on the front. Okay, it's chilling if you don't have humor. I mean, it's hilarious if you do, or you watch true crime. But yeah, if you're a suspect, if you might potentially be a suspect in a felony, maybe don't go out in a t-shirt saying I will commit a felony. On Thursday, January 15th, wanted fugitive Cruz Dean Wasner was arrested by officials following the suspicious death of Margaret Pennington inside an Azale, Texas residence on January 11. Now, Wasner is currently being held on the following charges: tampering with or fabricating physical evidence with the intent to impair a human corpse, possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance, and possession of a controlled substance along with parole violation. The fugitive posed for his booking photo wearing a blue hoodie which had, I'll put you in the trunk and help people look for you. Stop playing with me. Of all days to wear your snarky t-shirt that just fits the occasion. Now, the Azale Police Department has confirmed that officers arrested Wasner in coordination with the Texas Department of Public Safety Criminal Investigation Division, the Texas Rangers, and the United States Marshals, along with Parker County Special Crimes Unit. Police said at this time Pennington's case or cause of death is still pending. This is an open investigation, and anyone with information related to the death of Pennington is encouraged to contact the police department. Now, a previous public information request shared on Facebook, police confirmed that Wasner was a person of interest, and they haven't confirmed what his relationship was to the victim or whether he's being considered a suspect, but it does seem like he did something to the body of the sort after the fact. Now, in an online obituary posted by Forest Meadows Funeral Home in Gainesville, Florida, where Pennington was born, she is described as deeply loved by her family and friends. Margaret had a creative, sentimental spirit. She found comfort in baking, crocheting, enjoying music, and had a keen interest in genealogy, loved collecting vintage treasures that carried history and meaning. So it will be interesting. I can't say that I haven't been tempted to buy this t-shirt, nor can I say that if it goes on sale, I won't buy it. But I don't ever plan on doing a felony, so there you go. Well, you know, I'm sitting over here whining about the cold, but I think I'll take the cold. 'Cause elephants apparently never forget and they never forgive. Okay, Babar, Babar and Dumbo should have taught us that apparently elephants never forget and they will hold a grudge. A rogue elephant has killed nearly 24 people in a 10-day rampage through eastern India. You know, I'm okay being cold. You know what? I'll take being cold over a rampaging, pissed off elephant. Nearly 24 people have been killed and 15 injured by a large wild bull elephant that went on a 10-day rampage through several towns in eastern India, both terrifying locals who reportedly climbed to the top of trees and slept on rooftops to stay out of his reach. Now, the single-tusked male struck first on New Year's Day when it killed a 35-year-old man in the village of Bendajari in Jakati, West Sagbingham district. Look, somewhere in eastern India. 4 days later, the animal killed 5 members of the same family in a nearby town of Sawan. And the next day, it killed 5 more people in Barbaria, including a married couple and their 2 children, according to the Times of India. Okay, do we not have force multipliers in India? Look, I don't want an animal to have to be put down, but at this point, I think it's gotten a taste for human blood. So maybe find someone with a force multiplier? A large stick, something pointy? Now, the elephant is moving mostly at night and is able to cover as much as 25 miles a day, somewhat thwarting repeated attempts to try to tranquilize it, according to forest officials. Now, the animal is believed to be in a state of must, a natural but dangerous hormonal condition in which male elephants are just surged with testosterone for mating, and it can last weeks or even months. Now, during must, bulls can become especially aggressive, restless, and unpredictable, often roaming long distances and attacking without warning. Now, in the hardest hit villages, nightfall brought panic, with residents refusing to sleep indoors, instead actually sleeping on rooftops or in trees, and keeping watch for the sound of breaking walls or footsteps as the elephant was roaming in the forest. Now, more than 300 forest and wildlife personnel have been deployed in a massive search operation involving tracking teams and tranquilizing units and drones. Now, local authorities said the elephant has yet to be captured as it continues to evade teams by moving quickly through dense forest and slipping across remote villages under the cover of darkness. Now, animal control personnel made multiple attempts to tranquilize the elephant using dart guns, but each effort has failed as the giant became increasingly antagonized and agitated at getting shot at by a tranquilizer gun. I mean, call me crazy, but are you guys using, tranquilizer darts that are strong enough to pierce it? Or Maleficents, I like it. It's going to be it's not Chippendales. It's my dancers are going to be Maleficents. Dumbo brought to you a whole new way. An entire peen puppetry rendition of Dumbo. Now, this is going to be a growing problem as India does, like a lot of nations, continue to develop and kind of animals and humans environments are becoming more and more overlapped. Now, according to India, about 500 people a year are losing their lives to India or to elephants. Good night. Between 2020 and 2024, the number of elephants that have died as a result of human related causes did go up to 2011, up to 35% higher than the last 5 years. So again, people are moving into territory where the elephants have always had kind of supremacy. And we are going to have more run-ins about or with this. Maybe, okay, I know I'm an idiot and I know I'm from the Midwest, but fences work. Can you make like fences for relatively cheaply that deter elephants? I don't know. I mean, like I said, I am very familiar with tornadoes. I could sort of walk you through that because they're kind of common. I don't know how you would prevent a rampaging elephant. I didn't even know there was such a thing. I knew hippos were buttholes. I knew hippos were dangerous, but I did not know that the elephants would never forget or forgive. And if the elephants won't forgive, well, buckle up, you guys. Apparently, there is a conspiracy going around that we are going to lose gravity on August 12th. I don't know. Oh, I haven't heard this conspiracy, but it's a new one for me. Conspiracy theorists are being brought back down to Earth after NASA scientists debunked a wild claim that the space agency was hiding knowledge about an event that could result in millions of deaths and injuries. Now, proponents of a bizarre theory believe that a leaked secret document that came out in November 2024 revealed NASA's Project Anchor. To prepare Earth for an event so catastrophic, a reported 40 million people on Earth would die from the impact. Now, the theory stated that on August 12th of this year, exactly at 1433 GMT or 9:33 Eastern Time, the Earth will lose gravity for 7 seconds. Y'all, take a picture because I will be the skinniest I've ever been. We will all be the thinnest we've ever been in our entire life. The government can't even get the DMV to work efficiently. But sure, they're going to cancel gravity. Hell, they can't even deal with with the coof effectively. And we think the government knows that gravity's getting shut off? What the hell? Again, call me when my government's able to fix potholes. If this is fake, why does it have a date, a project name, and a budget? Asked one incredulous ex-user. It turns out this is just another case of social media mischief, as internet sleuths have found no trace of any leaked document or mention of Project Anchor. Meanwhile, NASA experts have pointed out that the theory itself demonstrates a fundamental misunderstanding of how gravity works. The origin of the theory is murky, though one of the earliest known viral references had come from an Instagram account at Mr. Dana of. including details about the alleged 89 million that NASA had earmarked for Project Anchor. Well, they spent close to 9 billion with a B on the James Webb Telescope. So you're telling me they spent less to turn off the gravity on all of Earth for 7 seconds than they did on a relatively short-term ultraviolet light telescope. I'm just making sure I understand this. Or not ultraviolet, infrared. That's what you're telling me, because I'm just making sure. It makes more sense. Sure, why not? Why not? On August 12th, 2026, the world will lose gravity for 7 seconds. NASSholes know they're preparing for it, but they won't tell us why, according to this TikTok Instagram account. Infrastructure destruction, economic collapse lasting over 10 years, mass panic, they mused, estimating that nearly 40 million people of Earth would die from falls. Now, according to the theory, the phenomenon would be caused by the intersection of gravitational waves produced as black holes collide. Look, I'm not an astronomer, but when black holes collide, they create a ripple in the space-time fabric, and we are actually able to detect that. Never do they cancel out gravity of another object's mass. Like, okie dokie? Sure, why not? However, the account is well known for producing fabricated reports. But that didn't stop trolls from embellishing the outlandish Project Anchor theory, such as one reader who added that the total eclipse of the sun will pass over the Arctic Ocean at the same time. Now, Snopes reporters reached out for NASA for answers, and they basically said, no, the Earth won't lose gravity. It doesn't work like this, Cletus. Now, experts from NASA went on to give a basic lesson in gravitational physics. Earth's gravity, or total gravitational force, is determined by its mass. It is not an on and off button that NASA has control of. The only way for Earth to lose gravity would be for the Earth system, the combined mass of its core, mantle, crust, ocean, terrestrial water, and atmosphere to lose mass. Dr. William Alston, a black hole expert from the University of Hertfordshire, further explained in the Daily Mail that colliding black holes are so weak that we've had to build the most sensitive detection equipment to see them, let alone feel the impact on Earth. So, yeah, we will probably not be losing gravity, which kind of sucks because that was going to be the skinniest I'd ever been in about, years. Sadness. Utter sadness and despair. And now we've gone to the time where we wonder, what the world did Mo find? Now, I have been trying to get Mr. Mo on the mini Highland cow. But if I have to get the full-sized one, at least I know that he can ride shotgun. What the heck is this?
To a call of a man driving eastbound on 275 with a Watusi bull in his passenger.
Nebraska, way to go, Nebraska, making all the stereotypes true. Seriously, people think us hillbillies do this on the regular. No, it's just one guy.
Seat.
The officers received a call reference a car driving into town that had a cow in it. They thought that it was going to be, like a calf, something smaller, something that actually fit inside the vehicle.
And the vehicle was big enough. Well, technically.
As a result, the
lice vehicle. Also, do you have a poo bag on that? Because I'm thinking that's going to be full of a lot of bull poo at the end of that ride.
Officer performed a traffic stop and addressed some traffic violations that were occurring. with that particular situation.
Officer, why'd you pull me over? No idea. Your officerness. Why ever would you be pulling me over? No, that's my emotional support, bull.
The occupant of the vehicle was identified as Lee Meyer of Neely. The Watusi Bull's name was Howdy Doody. He was immediately pulled over by Norfolk police and they performed a routine traffic stop.
The officer wrote him some warnings. There were some citable issues with that situation. The officer chose to write him a warning and ask him to take the animal back home.
Oh no. Oh no, this is you're never going to wash that smell out. Oh my God. Holy, this is not a good, this is a terrible idea. Who did this? In things that are more terrifying than that, also, because she's been in the news here lately, if anyone had the terrifying presence of Kathy Lee Gifford attempting to rap on your bingo list or bucket list, you're welcome.
Kathy's Rockin' Tots Cafe. Come on, let's hip hop. 'Twas the night before Christmas and all through the house.
What in the name of caucasity? I think Nancy Pelosi has more street cred than this woman. I mean, Madeleine Albright.
Not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse.
Yo, baby, I ain't no chimney. Won't ever catch me smoking.
Nope. I didn't want to click on that. I had clicker's regret. And then, for those of us who, aren't always good at following those recipes, what happens when you decide to share those recipes to your morning news crew?
Eats. Leslie on tap this morning.
Yeah, it's not supposed to look like that.
There's a whole story here. So what is this?
Okay, so this, it's like I didn't want to bake it. I've been busy, so I didn't want to make anything, but my family was all freaking out. Okay, this is what I wanted to do. This was plan A. This is my favorite Christmas thing.
Well, then,
Oh, here's the Safeway wrapper.
oh, thank you.
It's Christmas cake.
Fruitcake, yeah.
Okay,
From
but you wanted
Safeway.
to make some of that.
I love that.
So this is boss.
Seriously, well, I made it and then Safeway packaged it for me.
Okay.
So that's really my favorite
Okay, so that's what you want to do.
But
Let's
my
talk about what
family's
happened.
all
What is that?
freaking out because you need to make something. Everybody's making something. So they all got together and they sent me this recipe and I'm going to make you guys try it. So this is artichoke dip. Okay, so you think that that's okay.
No, artichoke dip doesn't look like that. I don't know what you made, ma'am, but no. Look at her host. Her hosts are like, where is OSHA? Where is the HR lady when you need her? This is cruel and unusual. Someone needs to protect these hosts.
Okay, right? Is that too much for you, George?
That's a lot. That's what I mean. I can't do that.
Oh, that is what I do. Oh gosh, it fell on the floor. Damn. I have a whole bowl. No.
How does it smell, Scott?
It's like vinegar.
No. Seriously, y'all. I'm going to point this out, but this woman still believes that this bang looks good. Okay? Do not trust this woman. She's going with the full claw hammer bang. This woman hasn't changed her bang since 1984. Do not trust this woman. You have been warned. Those are felonious bangs. Those are the bangs of a psychopath, allegedly, in Minecraft. If you see bangs like those, run.
Or something.
I thought it smelled like a barn.
Well, we're not being rude. We have
No,
right to be
it didn't
nervous
work out. I'm
because it
telling
didn't
you right
work.
now.
Sorry.
This did not.
Okay, so we purposely know that this is going to be terrible. This guy is like, I went to school for this. Seriously, dude, run. It's not worth it. Run. Just run. Blink your eyes if you need help. I'll go to Canada. I'll rescue you.
Work out. It's artichoke dip.
Too much. That's Is it edible?
At first, I'm like, well, it's not that bad, but the vinegar.
But there's no vinegar in there. So here's what happens.
That's like all that I can taste is vinegar.
Oh my gosh.
Also, things that he might have said in other times. That's what she said. It's vinegary. Well, I'm a degenerate.
Okay, so like it's got.
I'm not trying to be rude here.
It's
No,
okay.
no, be rude. This woman deliberately tried to poison you on national television. She knew it was bad. She knew it was terrible. Like, even her dog was like, no, and he drinks out of the toilet, okay? Her dog eats turds in the yard, and he was like, you're on your own, heifer.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you.
Oh,
It's artichoke dip, but something went terribly wrong. Okay, so first of
how are
all,
you doing that?
The vinegar burns.
There's no vinegar.
Did she put holy water in there? Are we exposing people as demons right now and or vampires? Did she put garlic? Okay, this female reporter is a soldier. She swallowed. I'm going to put myself in timeout.
there's no vinegar. Do you think something is off? Like, do you think maybe the artichokes are off?
Do.
Well, okay, I didn't have a lemon, so I just cut up an orange and put that in there. And then I didn't know what spices to put in, so I put celery, salt, and oregano in it.
See, this is where
And I-
the little bits of chemistry play in, Leslie. Things didn't
And-
combine properly.
So, how are you enjoying it, Amber?
It burns.
There's water in
It
here.
feels like there's vinegar.
Again, this is probably the funniest segment, but I think it could be argued by any employee standard that she tried to kill these people. HR should be in there. I mean, what the hell? I mean, at this point, just eat the fruitcake or take the frosting off the fruitcake if you don't like it. This woman knew how she was going to get her front seat. This was allegedly in Minecraft. This is all speculation.
There's no vinegar, so I don't get it.
Burns.
I don't get it. It's such a big
Leslie,
failure.
so the recipe's
It burns. It burns. At least in 9 to 5, I mean, mixing up the skinny and sweet and the rat poison was kind of understandable. If you don't have set ingredients to make artichoke dip, don't just do your own little alchemy. Don't. That's not good. Now, I am letting you guys go a little early because I vaguely remember the judge saying in the Uvalde case that we were going to be starting earlier this week. So starting at 8:30 their time, but 9:30 our time. So did want to give you guys a chance to go use the restroom, take a break before, we get into Uvalde. I don't know. It didn't look like any artichoke dip I'd ever seen. So there you go. Oh no, let's see. It'll give you a laugh. I don't eat a meal because of the texture. I was asked my plate full of mess. Yeah, don't do that. So I do have you guys set up to go to Nick's channel for the morning. I can't remember if we were going to change things up. We did not anticipate this case going longer than the 2 to 3 weeks it was supposed to. We assumed we would at least be on the defense's case today, but we shall be there to make the intolerable tolerable. And then if we decide to speed up our coverage a little bit, tonight I will be going over the first witnesses, or the first couple witnesses, depending on how long it is, of the Paul Canero case. So I am covering that case in the evenings and on the weekends. Now, that is going to be a 5 to 7 week case, so it will probably still be going when Uvalde is done and we can catch up. But that is a really interesting case, and it's not Uvalde. So I figured we needed an option out there if you didn't want to watch Uvalde, because I get it. Have a lovely, lovely day. Remember, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, but have a sassy mouth and carry a can of bitch fire, because, well, elephants never forgive and they never forget. Holy cow. Bye, you guys.